everybody being on here this morning. I hope everyone had a great holiday, a great Christmas and whatnot. And, we spent the week preparing just like we would a regular game week and practiced up until Saturday. We had a couple days, Christmas Eve and Christmas, where it was light work and meetings and also a kind of a Christmas atmosphere over here because we did stay in town just to protect our guys and follow protocol. And we resumed practice on Saturday as well. And just we're in our regular game week right now, and are scheduled to have a big practice this morning, our typical Tuesday practice. So, but guys understand the opportunity and the challenge, are extremely excited about it, enthused to get after it today. And with that being said, open to questions.
Great. Please raise your hands and we will call on you and ask you to unmute yourself. We're going to start with AJ and then we'll go to Matt.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering, how is your overall health of your team heading into this game?
We're about where we were for our last game that we played. I think at this time of year, we're going to be nicked up a little bit, but we feel good that we feel that we're in good physical shape in terms of our conditioning. We feel like we're about as healthy as we, have been throughout the course of the year. Not perfect, but at the same time, very capable. So we feel good about it.
Matt.
Mario, they've played 11 games. You've played, I think, 6. Is there a benefit either way of obviously you haven't gone through the rigors of a full season. They've got the experience. You think there's benefits for both sides of that?
Oh, I always feel the more games you can play, the better. There is no substitute for having that experience. There's no substitute for things like experience and things like preparation. So, but do I lean on that or think or say that that's an advantage? I mean, I see it more as they've had the opportunity, and I'm very happy for any team, any conference that was able to play more games. So, but in terms of us, we feel that the games that we've had has given us the amount of experience, time, and preparation to continue to get better and be prepared for this challenge that we have on Saturday. So we feel good about where we're at.
James Capilla.
Mario, wanted to see if there was an update and determination on CJ, and also wanted to confirm if Sala is unavailable, and if so, what that means at right tackle with Jones and Dawson.
Yeah, as of right now, we feel that those guys, we're hopeful those guys are going to be playing. We've been practicing and getting some reps. So later in the week, we'll determine exactly where they are. But as of right now, we feel that those guys have a chance to play.
Okay, we'll go with Kevin Wade from 247.
Yeah, Coach, this is kind of just it's a different year across the board. But what's it like for this bowl season where it's not your typical bowl year? You guys are gonna, I don't know if you're treating it exactly like a normal game, but you're traveling down and you don't have all the festivities that usually go with it.
Well, I mean, I think we've turned our focus into what a blessing the opportunity this season has granted us. Really, I think. You hear so much, and all you hear about 2020 is, man, how it's been so rough and the challenges. We all understand that. But we also, I think, got to focus on the fact that we have been blessed with opportunity and that, we have a chance to be a shining light for a lot of people that love the game of college football and to do it in a healthy manner and, to get the opportunity to play on a national stage on, as big of a game as you could imagine in the Fiesta Bowl. This is, for us, that's all we see it as. The focus is completely on the fact that it is a blessing and an opportunity. And our guys they're chomping at the bit. They can't wait to get there.
Go with Zach Martin from the Iowa State Daily.
Hey, Coach. As you've seen on film, what's one of the challenges that this Iowa State team will give you on Saturday?
Sure. Well, there's a number of them, Zach. I mean, I think, I'm by nature an offensive line coach, so I spend a lot of time on that side of the ball, but of course got to jump around with my obligations as a head coach. But I think what stands out is just the physicality of their team overall. And that physicality is matched by talent. Sometimes teams are one or the other. They try to find ways to compensate. Iowa State is a complete football team. They knock you back at the line of scrimmage. Their front seven, they play in sync. They understand their techniques. They're extremely fundamentally and technically sound. They come out of their hips. They play with great leverage and get their hands inside on you, and they control blockers. They strike blockers. They cover you. They've got great eye discipline. You don't see them, and getting caught in with poor eye discipline and giving up. They give very few explosive plays, and they strike when they get there with intentions to make you feel that they're a physical football team. And on the flip side, besides the personnel, besides having arguably the best running back in college football, just complemented by a great quarterback and a great system with just monstrous looking tight ends that match their offensive line's physicality, that get in multiple sets, misplaced personnel, shifts and motions, and complemented by big speed and explosive guys outside. So when you have a team like that has so many things, your fundamentals, your technique, your rules, your eye discipline, and then playing at an extremely high level, communicating on a down-by-down basis, all those things come into play. You have to play your best, and you have to play a complete football game, because if you do allow for kinks and chinks in your processes, you'll get exposed. And our guys understand that, and that's why preparation continues to get better as the year goes on. But the approach of our players being so thorough with what they've been doing lets you know that they're well aware of how good of a football team we're playing on Saturday.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, we're going to go with Michelle Gardner from the Arizona Republic here in town.
Hey, Coach. You've got a very, very young football team, and you had a lot of guys that declared for the draft before the season started. So what can you say about the way some of these guys have stepped up in place of those really good players?
Well, extremely proud of just the effort and the accomplishment thus far, but yet never content. Our guys will never be. Well, we just can't. It's just not part of the DNA. But I think, I think it's more of the promising trajectory that we're on to be the youngest team in the country and to be able to go and win the conference championship again with the amount of youth on this football team and hungry youth that wants to get better, with the guys that had declared. These guys came back for their senior season. The happenings of COVID and the pandemic and the delay or postponement of the season, obviously launched us into essentially losing 2 classes in 1 year. And our guys had to step up and make up for that. So a lot of credit to them, and at the same time, they know that they themselves and us as an organization, regardless of situation, circumstances, we're going to hold ourselves accountable to, high achievement and high performance. So all in all, just real good progress and looking forward to improving that and elevating that.
All right, we're going to go to Ryan Thorburn from Register Guard.
Mario, how key was Diamador coming back to kind of help lead the young secondary? And obviously the talent back there was on display at USC, but how much has this season kind of helped Michael and a lot of those young guys step in for the guys who opted out?
Diamador is one of the best players in the country and a tremendous human being at that, and a guy that's going to play on Sundays for a long, long time. And with everything that went on, remember, when you're a quarter system and in our situation and the way our stuff was postponed, our season was postponed, the mental challenges were as great as anything else. And Demo just stepped up and said, I'm coming back and I'm going to elevate a standard. I'm going to be a great leader. I'm going to push the young guys. We have goals. We have unfinished business. So it's been incredible. And I can't stress enough what an awesome job Demo has done on the field. I mean, his interception in the game 2 weeks ago certainly set the tone for winning the conference championship. But besides that, everything he's done throughout the course of the year to give of himself for the team, it just I can't say enough great things about him. I mean, he's as good as I've ever been around, and I look forward to him playing his best football this coming Saturday and then watching him play for years to come on Sunday. So a lot of love for Demo, a lot of love for him. I tell him all the time he can't cover me, but he could cover everybody else.
That's a good way to finish that answer. Lucas, let's go to you question for Coach Cristobal.
Hey, Coach, thanks for taking the time. I know he hasn't had a lot of playing time this year, but what have you seen from inside linebacker Nick Wiebe in terms of growth on and off the field?
Yeah, Nick has been just an outstanding member of this organization since the day he's arrived. Growth in every way possible, from a football player and physically and mentally in terms of his assignments, alignments, the way he plays the game, physically, his ability to tackle and make plays, it certainly showed up when we were up and playing in Berkeley earlier this year, and just a very dependable, accountable guy, also playing special teams for us. So awesome guy to have on this football team, continue to grow and develop, and nothing but great things to say about Nick. He's awesome to have here at Oregon.
James Crapia, I believe I have you unmuted.
Couple more personnel, Mario, guys who experienced really polar opposites in terms of personal life this past week. Did Austin miss any time? Will he be available? And Brian Addison, will he play this week?
Yeah, both will be, and we'll be playing. Addison didn't miss any time. Austin was home for the birth of his child, Apollo. Put him on scholarship now, about 10 pounds, monstrous baby. But yeah, no, he's back. He's back. He's in town. He's ready to roll, and he's got some unfinished business. So we all appreciate his commitment to everything, to his academics, his teammates, first and foremost, his family. Being able to get there and be there for that moment, and then to come back and take care of business. That's a lot for a young man. So resiliency, toughness, it's another reason why the guy's a great leader, has a great future, going to be a great father, super husband. So really appreciative of him.
Go to Max Torres at Scoop Duck.
Mario, you mentioned earlier how everyone stayed in town in such a crazy year like this. What was that conversation like with not only your players, but with their families as well, to ultimately make that decision to stay put?
I think it all goes back to what we said in March. Whoever handles this pandemic best will have the best results. And we always go home for Christmas, so it's a drastic change in scheduling. But the flip side is they've come this far and made the sacrifice to get here. The worst thing you could do is compromise that and have something happen that just completely derail us from their goals and aspirations to finish the season the way that, they allowed themselves the opportunity to game, want to finish it the right way. Now, that being said, from a safety and protocol standpoint, it's unquestionably the best decision. And then the flip side is usually we start up, academics, we start school right away that second week in January. We're allowing our guys an extra couple weeks at home because of the sacrifices that they made, and because they stayed here on Christmas. So they're going to get more time on the back end, and I know they appreciate that. And on Christmas Day, I'll tell you what, all the wives made as many baked goods as possible. The layout, the food was incredible. We had set them up with all the, the things that come with going to a bowl game, and some of the gifts that go with that, and the gear and everything else. So it's we made it as festive as possible, and we made it as as Christmassy feeling as you could possibly make it without actually being home. So, but you always talk to your guys, because prior agreements prevent later misunderstandings. We were very honest. We were very direct. We explained the issues that compromising protocol could be a bad situation. And everybody accepted it, and they've attacked practice and meetings and everything else with tremendous enthusiasm. So thankful to them for understanding the business side of what we had to take care of, and they did a great job.
We're going to go to Jeff Metcalf from the Arizona Republic. Jeff?
Yeah, Mario, you gave a nice summary there of a lot of the good things that Iowa State's doing. I'm assuming you haven't had any problem getting across to your players how good of a team this is, even though they typically haven't gotten to this high of a bowl game. And then can you also just talk about what Matt Campbell's done to get Iowa State to this point to playing a New Year's Six bowl?
Yeah, well, I mean, anytime you have an opportunity to play a top 10 team, it doesn't take much to understand how good. And top 10 really probably doesn't do them justice. The way that they have played all year, the way they have built the program around Coach Campbell's culture, what they are, the standard they hold themselves to is very impressive. We've watched. I mean, I'm a huge fan of college football in general. I'm always watching tape. I'm always watching the film. I'm always taking as much footage as I can from other programs, because you always have a chance to learn and maybe apply things that can help your program as well. So extremely impressive what they have done, what they are continuing to do, and our players fully understand that this is the best football team we've played, and that their best football is ahead of them too. So everyone's really looking forward to this opportunity.
Okay, we're going to go to Nick King from Arizona's family here in Arizona. Nick?
Hey, Mario. I missed the first couple minutes, so I apologize if this would have been addressed. But as far as making the decision to play in a bowl game, obviously there have been a lot of different situations for teams across the country that led them to say no. Did you guys think about that before the Pac-12 championship? Did it depend at all on what game you were going to or how the title game went for you guys?
Not at all. That was never something that was in question. We do things in a safe manner. We've proven that over the entire course of the pandemic. And, I can't speak for other programs and their choices, as it relates to opt-in or opting out. And I don't judge that either. I wouldn't do that. I just know that we do things a certain way here. And when an opportunity is earned, when you're blessed with a situation like we have been in, I mean, there was never any other thought, quite honestly.
Ryan from the Register Guard. And then if we have time, we'll go to AJ and then we'll close it out. Ryan? Oh, let me unmute you, Ryan. Sorry.
Mario, I think Isaac was mentioning a couple weeks ago that the post-game locker room in Cal was maybe a turning point. Have you seen any specific leaders kind of help turn around things, specifically on defense down the stretch here?
Well, I think him being one of the major ones, and I think Verone McKinley's another one you could throw in that category. Verone has been outstanding in his demeanor and his leadership. Isaac really, it was painful, It was painful. We haven't lost many games around here the last couple of years. And, that was a shot in the gut. And you respect the game. You always give credit to the opponent. We're never going to, not do that and try to say, oh, we lost it. You got to give them credit. But we also got to look. We took a look deep down inside of ourselves to say, hey, that isn't our best. And the best is not just going to magically happen. We got to work that into reality. Can't just speak it into reality. Got to make it real. It's not just going to be all right. You got to grind at it. And so the decision was made to just keep turning it up, and it showed up in practice. It's like, you could tell, right? I mean, your practice habits and preparation really become your game reality. And we felt it. You could tell Tuesday, Wednesday, what you have a pretty good idea of what it's going to go, how it's going to go. So that was kind of the ongoings of, post-Cal.
I'm going to go one more question with AJ on this channel, but I do want to just give an announcement. Kayvon Thibodeau is starting on the other Zoom link. If you want to go interview Kayvon Thibodeau, please move to that other link. Following this last question from AJ will be Coach Avalos on this channel. So AJ, go ahead.
Coach, it might just be you and me right now, but I was looking back at that USC game, and the defense was so good. They have a lot of momentum going into this Fiesta Bowl. What kind of flipped? What was the switch that flipped with that defense?
Oh, I think everything. I think it's an accumulation of all the things that go with alignment, assignment, practice habits, intensity. I mean, sometimes you just got to say enough is enough, right? I mean, we had done such great things defensively over the course of the 19 season, and then some early things too. And it just, we allowed it to get away from us, but it was all inside. I mean, it's something that we could control. And we just made the conscious decision to control what we can control. And that's playing to a certain level with pad level and technique and our feet in the ground and hands inside and with physicality. So I think that just became our reality, and our guys took a hold of it and got it done.
Fantastic. Coach Cristobal, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday night here. And again, on Friday morning, we'll have a head coach's press conference with Coach Cristobal and Coach Campbell. Coach, thanks again. Good luck in your final preparations, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Coach Avalos will be joining here in a moment.